What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. We got breaking news from the NBA. Klay Thompson suffered a torn ACL injury in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Tough break for Klay Thompson, man. Tough break, man. This is a catastrophic injury. This injury likely is going to cause him to miss all of next season. Tough break. They had the news that their best player Kevin Durant in Game 5 suffered a ruptured Achilles, and he likely is going to miss all of next season. So this is tough news for the Golden State Warriors, man. They're going to be most likely without two of their best players for next year. They still have Steph Curry. They still have Draymond Green. We'll see what DeMarcus Cousins does as he's a free agent, man. But this is catastrophic news. This just changes the landscape of the Western Conference. The Western Conference right now is wide open for next year. It's wide open. Even if Kevin Durant would have been out, say he would have, we pretty much know he was going to miss next season, and we don't know where he's going to sign with, what team he's going to be with next year, but he was going to be out for sure next season. Even saying that, with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and those guys, and they fill in the pieces and maybe strengthen their bench up, they still would have been the odds-on favorite to represent the Western Conference next season. But with these two major injuries to two of their three best players, this makes the Western Conference wide open. Portland Trail Blazers, Houston Rockets, Denver Nuggets, the Lakers. They need to really be trying to push that Anthony Davis trade. LeBron James, he wants to bring in Anthony Davis. His agent is representing Anthony Davis, Rich Paul. So LeBron James really needs to put his foot down and put pressure on Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss to make that deal, man, to bring in Anthony Davis, man, because the Western Conference is wide open. In the East, if Kawhi Leonard resigns with Toronto, they'll be the team to beat in the East. You have other teams like Milwaukee will be, the number 2 team. A lot of people be picking with the Greek Freak. We'll see what happens with Boston, because it looks like Kyrie Irving is going to be leaving there, going to Brooklyn. So they're going to have to make some changes. They got some multiple draft picks. Maybe they look the deal to bring in another superstar player. We'll see how that plays out in Boston. But this is just a big news, man. Big news, man. We had, it's big news coming twofold tonight. As far as Toronto Raptors, number one news is Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champion. The number 2 big news is Klay Thompson is out with a torn ACL, so he's likely going to miss next season along with Kevin Durant, and that makes the Western Conference wide open, and it puts the Golden State Warriors front office. They're going to have to make some moves, man. They probably the main thing before going into this series was, hey, we're just going to try to re-sign Kevin Durant and re-sign Klay Thompson and, and put some couple of pieces to bring off the bench. Maybe sign some veterans to come off the bench, want to be on a winning team, be part of a winning culture. We could bring some veterans off the bench, and we can, compete for championships from years to come. But that's not going to be the case next season, at least, because they've lost Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant to significant injuries that's most likely going to keep both of those guys out next year. So it's big news here tonight, man. That's why you just got to be grateful when you win a championship, man. All championships ought to be held in a high regard and just be really celebrated, because you just never know what'll happen the next season, man. Golden State was looking like the team to beat going into this series, man. They were looking like they were going to win a three-peat, and they were being compared to the Chicago Bulls as the greatest NBA team of all time. And it's just how quickly things can change, man. In a series, things can change. And this Toronto series, you lost 3 of your best players, and you're looking at next year. You're looking at just, hey, man, if they lose, they're gonna be without these 2 main players in Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. You go from being in the NBA Finals, and depending on the moves they make, but if they just say they come back with the team that they got now, the team that was on the floor in the fourth quarter, trying to win Game 6 and take it to Game 7 of Toronto. You had Steph Curry, you had Andre Iguodala, that's 35 years old, of guy that's maybe got maybe a year or two left, and he's probably looking to retire. You got Boogie Cousins coming out, Boogie Cousins, but we don't know if we're gonna ever be the same, coming off a torn calf. You got Looney, and maybe Looney will be healthy, but you got a bunch of role players. You got Draymond Green, a utility player, a guy that's gonna get you some assists and get you some rebounds, a triple-double waiting to happen, but he's not a scorer. He's not a guy that you can count on to get you 20 points a night. So you're basically looking at Draymond, Steph Curry, in a bunch of solid players, but no special players, a bunch of role players, basically. That team now, man, is just going to be fighting just to get in the playoffs. That's how deep the West is. You go from being in the finals, thinking you're going to three-peat and go down as one of the greatest teams of all time, to next season being without two of your top 3 players and trying to fight just to make the playoffs, man. That could be the case, man. So the organization is the front office is really gonna be on the it's gonna be some interesting. They're gonna have to make some interesting decisions, because obviously I think they're gonna still try to sign Klay Thompson, even though he would have torn ACL. I think they're gonna still give him the max, so they're gonna be tied up in cap spaces, basically with the money he making and the money they paying Curry. And say they re-sign Durant, that's gonna tie up their cap space. But the two of your players that you paying a lot of money to ain't gonna be able to help you next year. And it's gonna limit you as far as bringing in other guys that possibly can help you next season. So they caught in a tough situation, the Golden State front office. I think the general manager name is Bob Melvin, I think his name is. I might have his name wrong, but he's a young up and coming general manager. Like I say, he's been the architect of 3 championships in 5 years. So the guy actually knows what he's doing, man. But it's gonna be some things to make as far as signing players and having players that's not that's counting towards your cap, but are not able to actually help you next year. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna have to make some tough decisions for the Golden State Warriors. But just letting guys know, man. That Klay Thompson, man, a multi-time All-Star, a two-way player, a great defensive player, is going to be out for next year. This is like a double whammy for the Golden State Warriors. You lose the championship, and then you lose your one of your best players, one of your top 3 players on your team, man, to a catastrophic injury. The game after you just lost arguably your best player to a catastrophic injury in Kevin Durant, man. So it's a tough situation, man. That's why you just got to be so happy and so grateful when you win championships. And they've got 3 championships, man. You had other organizations that injuries have kind of brought their runs to an end. The Boston Celtics with Kevin McHale and his bad knees and Larry Bird and his bad back. Robert Parrish aging out, stuff like that. You had